And now to welcome to the stage, Carmen Aramanda.
Thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Carmen Aramanda, and I'm the Interim Director for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We are here tonight to celebrate the 2023 final round of the Stumberg Venture Competition, and I thought it'd be fun to start with a definition of entrepreneurship. So according to Merriam-Webster, entrepreneurship is one who organizes, manages, and assumes the risks of a business or enterprise. Who does that apply to here? Let me see, the whole front row and the second row, I think. Right, entrepreneurs? Okay. We know that's technically correct, but we also know that it's a really limited definition of an entrepreneur. In fact, we know that entrepreneurship encompasses a broad range of world-changing individuals, such as the following Trinity alumni. There are inventors like Robert S. Munger, who invented the system cotton gin, which improved the working conditions and operations of cotton processing way back in 1890. Social entrepreneurs such as Daniel Levetsky, you probably know him as the founder of Kind Bars, but he also started several other social ventures such as Peaceworks, amongst others. Turnaround entrepreneurs like Sardar Biglari, who founded Biglari Holdings and has purchased and turned formerly failing ventures profitable, ventures such as Steak and Shake, amongst many others. Technology disruptors like Richard Yu, Dirk Elmendorf, and Pat Condon, the founders of Rackspace, amongst others. We also celebrate fashion entrepreneurs like Peter Moy, who founded Yellowman, a high-end tattoo clothing brand, as well as Shapari Pulido, who founded Palo de Gecka, an artisanal hats and resort wear brand sold at luxury boutiques and hotels around the world. We can't forget the nonprofit entrepreneurs as well, those who are fueled by art and launch museums, those that also call themselves authors, in addition to entrepreneur, like Eva Poehler, a USA Today best-selling author of over 30 novels in multiple genres. We are all here tonight because we recognize that entrepreneurship welcomes dynamic solutions that our world needs right now. It does this through courage, action, perseverance, community, and an ability to identify opportunity and embrace creative solutions. If you were to ask me, I would tell you that's what makes San Antonio Startup Week special, which I hope most of you know is also happening right now. I would also tell you that it's what Stumberg as a program creates opportunities for and teaches. It's also a small part of what makes Trinity special. Tonight, you'll be hearing from alumni of the Stumberg program. You'll hear from Provost Dr. Megan Mustaine. You'll hear from the Stumberg finalists that bring us all together tonight, as well as from President Dr. Vanessa Beasley. So whether you're new to our community or an active contributor, thank you all for being here.
Hello, my name is Ren Ramos, and joining me tonight is Nelson Rose, and we are your co-MCs of the Stumberg competition. We are honored to be here tonight to celebrate these students who have been working tirelessly on their businesses. Both Nelson and I are incredibly passionate about entrepreneurship here at Trinity. I am a class of 22 alumnus who, during my time at Trinity, was fortunate enough to compete twice in this competition. Once as a teammate and builder of an art and story web service, and now with the nonprofit I am continuing to develop, New Works SA, which provides accessible theater to San Antonio students. We actually just celebrated our 3rd year of operations, and we had a very, very successful summer working with nearly 40 students on this very campus. And we're gearing up for one of our largest fundraisers to date, called New Works, Newer Than Ever, getting our funding for our spring semester classes. So while I continue to build this venture, I'm delighted to have rejoined the Trinity community as the Assistant Director of Annual Giving for students and young alumni. Nelson is also quite familiar with Trinity. Isn't that right, Nelson?
I'd like to think so, yeah. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nelson Rose, and I'm a current junior here at Trinity, pursuing a double major in accounting and history. I'm honored to have been invited to speak here on behalf of the student body and Trinity Entrepreneurship on this excellent, awesome day of competition. To give you a little bit of background on what this competition is, each of the teams competing here today has already advanced past the first round of competition, where they earned $5,000 in seed funding and a place in the Trinity Summer Accelerator program. During the Accelerator, teams spent hours of educational workshops, multiple networking events, and worked full-time on their business. Tonight, one team will win a $25,000 grand prize. Last year, I was a participant in this competition, and I can confidently say that regardless of whether teams win or lose, or their companies succeed or fail, that students will come out of the competition having learned more about creating something that's uniquely their own, teamwork, and most importantly, themselves. This is one of the best learning experiences that the Trinity students have at disposal, and that would not be possible without the generosity and commitment of the Stumberg family. Let's meet our Stumberg final round judges, who will be adjudicating who will be taking away that $25,000 grand prize today. First, we have Laura August, who's the founder and CEO of Robot Creative. Then, Doug Conyers unfortunately was unable to make it today, but he very generously sent along a $2,500 donation, bringing our total prize that will be awarded here tonight to $27,500. Thank you so much for your donation. Next, we have Dan Cornell, Trinity class of 1998, who is a globally recognized software security expert and is the founder of VitalSpan. Then, we have Oscar Martinez, class of 1992, who is the founder of Chief Financial Partner. Next, we have Tracy Shelton, who is the founder of Alamo Kitchens and is the principal of the Community Table Foundation. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have Eric Youngstrom, Trinity class of 1994, who is the founder of On-Ramp Funds. More information about our judges and how they're evaluating our teams today can be found in our Stumberg program. Thank you, judges, for your time and attention today. Fantastic.
We will now be beginning the program. I think we'll be starting with a couple of words from our provost, Megan Mustaine.
I will be brief because that is what you are here for. Welcome. Wow, this is a great packed house. Thanks for everyone. We're really, really grateful for your presence. Thanks to our judges. Thanks to our students. Thanks to the entrepreneurship team. And I want to extend a very, very special thanks on behalf of Trinity, its faculty, its students, and administration to the Stumberg family. So I want to read this because there's a lot here. The Stumberg Venture Competition honors the legacy of the late San Antonio businessman and civic leader, Louis H. Stumberg. A food industry pioneer in 1946, he co-founded Patio Mexican Foods, a company that took frozen Tex-Mex foods nationwide and saved my childhood for my mother's cooking. Mr. Stumberg was a dedicated member of Trinity's Board of Trustees and held leadership positions with numerous organizations like the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce, the United Way of San Antonio, Alamo Area Council of Boy Scouts, and as mayor of Terrell Hills. He was a civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army, which sounds like a really cool job. He gave generously of his time and treasure and was instrumental in helping build San Antonio's business and civic life. Like I said, on behalf of our faculty and our students, I want to express my profound gratitude to Louis Stumberg for his many years of service to Trinity, and to Herb Stumberg and Mary Patricia, who are here tonight. What your family has done for this institution and for the students here and past and future is really incredible. So thank you. Now, I promised I would be brief. So please join me in welcoming the first team to the stage. They will not be pitching this evening, but will provide an update on their research and progress. The 4 ventures that follow will pitch and answer questions from our panel of judges. Thank you again, judges, for being here.
Hello, good evening, y'all. My name is Julie, and I'll be presenting on liaison. This year, as previously mentioned, liaison has chosen not to compete in the final round of the Stumberg competition. However, we wanted to provide an update about our experience and to acknowledge all the people that have helped us along the way these past few months. Currently, my co-founder and I, Jade, are still interested in working on our venture liaison. However, as of currently, we wanted to focus more on our educational goals. So Jade is currently pursuing her master's in public health at Emory University, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am currently in the process of applying to graduate schools for applied microbiology and bioengineering. As a review for liaison's goal, our goal was to integrate photovoltaic technology into the light-based home goods, and our idea was to gain inspiration from and combine existing photovoltaic glass and LED light bulbs. On the right is a visual of our idea, where electricity from a power source would power a light bulb, of which then some of the emitted light would be reabsorbed and stored in a battery that can also help power the light bulb. And our ultimate goal was to help find a solution to lower energy use and save energy consumers money. Throughout our process, however, we did run into some research and development barriers that would require a lot more time to learn, investigate, and overcome, of which Jade and I both did not have as the amount of time that we needed to overcome these barriers in the past few months. But our first barrier included LEDs already being pretty efficient in terms of their energy use. They that limited the amount of waste light that could be reabsorbed for a product. A second barrier was the internal quantum efficiency of LEDs, which is the ratio of the amount of power that is converted into light. And that stands at about 70%, while the external quantum efficiency, which is the amount of power converted to light outside of the device, only is about 5%. And so these values are kind of low, which can make the conversion of our reabsorbed energy less efficient. Another barrier that we came across was the current power conversion efficiency of transparent photovoltaic technology is also kind of low, and the power conversion efficiency is the ratio of solar energy that is converted into electricity. Despite these barriers, the type of technology we are wanting to work with has a lot of room for development, and there is current research being done at universities like Michigan State University and MIT. And so Jade and I plan to continue investigating the science behind our product, as well as keeping up to date with findings and advancements related to our idea. And so currently, we plan to continue pursuing research and development, which would probably take more than a year. And then once we're able to overcome barriers or alter our idea to eventually develop a working prototype, then we will resume taking the necessary steps to make our product successful, which includes additional customer discoveries and ensuring our product aligns with current standards. And we wanted to We wanted to acknowledge our gratefulness for the incredible learning experience as part of the Stumberg Venture Competition and the learning experience that we gained through being a part of Liaison. We were able to begin learning how to navigate entrepreneurship and further develop our soft skills and learn more about the world of photovoltaic technology. And as one of my entrepreneurship professors emphasized to me, entrepreneurship is not linear and it has many ups and downs and loops and pivots, and so it takes perseverance. And I find that quite inspiring. And so for the time being, Liaison, it might have to shapeshift a little in the future, but Jade and I will continue working, and so this is not a goodbye. And we'd like to give a big thanks to everyone who has helped Liaison thus far. And so we have a big thank you to the Trinity University entrepreneurship staff, particularly Elizabeth, Carmen, Brianna, and Matt. And we would also like to thank our mentors, Carol and Dave Manson, Matt Blakely, Sarah, and various past Stumberg winners, as well as our friends and peers for all your encouragement, insight, and support. I'll also like to thank the judges from the seed round of the competition. Thank you for your support as well. And I would also like to thank those of y'all who are in the audience who came out tonight. Thank you for listening to our update, and I hope you enjoy listening to the other pitches from the other companies who are going to be speaking tonight. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are BeFit, and I am the CEO of the company, and today I wish to speak to you about a truth that faces this nation today. Over 41% of Americans are obese. It is true that in this nation, whenever it comes to the idea of being healthier or having a healthier lifestyle, we all say we want to achieve that. But the process of getting there, that's hard. There's so much information out there, it's really hard to understand where to begin or what fits best for you. I know this very well. This less than flattering picture of me was how I looked back in 2020. You see, when I first came into the United States to live here, I was inducted to a lot of unhealthy habits. Fast food, not working out. I ended up weighing over 200 pounds, which for my height, it's not really good. I generally felt ashamed of how I look. I felt uncomfortable in my own body. I felt like I didn't belong. And I wanted to get better, but it was hard. It took me years to get to the point where I felt happy with my own body. And that's because I did not have control in what I was eating. I had no way to really track my progress. And most importantly, there was too much different information. It was really hard to understand what works best for me. We discovered that this problem persists for many other college students. 85% of customers struggle to start their fitness journey. 68% don't know how to track their progress. And 91% struggle with motivation in the first place. So we see that people want a healthier lifestyle, but there's too much information out there. There are two avenues right now you can take to solve this. You can get a personal trainer, but that'll cost you hundreds of dollars a month. Or you can use a fitness application. What's the problem with those? It'll give you the same workouts, it'll give you the same recommendations, no matter who you are or where you are in your fitness journey. What ends up happening? You drop the application, you don't use it, and you don't achieve your fitness goals. But what if you could get that personalization, that motivation, that customization you get from a personal trainer right on your phone? And what if you could get it at a much more affordable and accessible price? $11.99 a month. This is where we come in. BeFit is employing AI solutions to bridge the gap between what is a personal trainer and what is a fitness app. We are utilizing information that you provide voluntarily, and based on that, give you workouts and meals that work best for you and when you are in your fitness journey. Imagine that as soon as you enter the application and you access it, you were asked a series of questions that were exactly what you would be asked by a personal trainer. psychological, physical, and scientific information that is useful and fed to this algorithm to give you specific advice for what you require. The workouts themselves will be entirely personalized on your recommendations and your information. And based on seeing what works best for your consistency, you will get that workout recommendation extremely customized to your needs. We're also going to be employing visualizations and actual information to see how to properly perform the exercise. And more importantly, we'll be integrated with smart devices that can track your calories, your heart rate, so on and so forth. Now, let's talk motivation. We can give you all the information you want, but if you don't want to work out, you don't want to work out. A fitness application can't do much about motivation, except that maybe we can make working out and we can make fitness fun in the first place. By gamifying the entire system, utilizing leaderboards, badges, achievements, and so on, we can try to make fitness as fun as possible, which encourages and motivates our users to stay consistent with the application. Now let's talk about our future features. It's very clear that to achieve that personal trainer perspective, you need to have a holistic experience with the application. This is why we're doing dietary applications along with it. You can track your macronutrients, which is one of the essential features for losing weight and building muscle, as well as you will get a curated recommended dietary recommendations that go along with what you specifically like and what you prefer. Not only that, we're introducing a social feature which users can opt into, where they get to actually utilize a map to connect to other BFit users, see about fitness centers and so on, to basically try to build communities. Because in the end of the day, having that other person to work out with you can do wonders for your motivation. Let's talk about our revenue system. We are a monthly subscription basis, and we go for $11.99. We're going for 2 weeks free. One of the biggest barriers of entry for anyone using an application is having to put that credit card information before using the app. That is why, with 2 weeks free, they get a taste of what the application can provide, and then later on they can start paying for it. In terms of our costs, we are an AWS hosted application. Our cost of maintaining a user is $2.25 a month. And our customer acquisition cost is about $25, and that's mainly because we're using a hybrid direct marketing strategy right now. Let's talk about the market. $33.25 billion is the fitness industry revenue that happened just around 2 years ago. In terms of the fitness app market size, it's of $1.87 billion right now. And in terms of growth, we are talking 9.4%. Now, it's important to note that while we might be able to target everyone with fitness applications, making our TAM $1.87 billion, we want to start targeting only college students that are trying to get into working out or are trying to take that fitness journey to the next step. That makes our SAM about $0.67 billion. But we first want to start just in Texas. That's because we're here, and it's a lot more easy to direct the marketing strategies happening near us. That makes our sum about $105 million. When it comes to competition, Active, Fitness AI, Freeletics, Peloton, it's very important to note that these ones don't have the customization and personalization we offer. When it comes to curated and recommended advice that we provide, as well as nutritional features, these applications are either lacking in this holistic endeavor, or they do not provide to the extent that we do. Now let's look at the timeout. So Stumberg final round is today, and on Monday, we're actually going to be releasing a full MVP of the model, where everyone in our waitlist is going to get to try it out. The private beta will be on January 1st, the public beta will be on August 1st, and then we'll finish the other additional features on August 1st to have a full release on January of 2025. Now, why do we need the money? $25,000 can level up our whole development and how we're working with the company. $5,000 will go to partnership and collaboration, $10,000 to marketing and customer acquisition, and $10,000 to development and enhancements. Right now, we have a wait list of people that want to buy the application as soon as it comes out. There's 64 members in that wait list. With the Stumberg money, we can take that to 280 members. With a churn rate that we expect of about 50% in our wait list, that's about 140 paying customers. I'm Marcus Morales. I'm a computer science major, but I also have a degree from the Bloom Institute of Technology for AI and machine learning. But Kevin Ham is another computer science major, and he developed a database and entire backend by himself within 2 months. And Molly Pretty is a certified personal trainer, and she's the science behind what we do. So help us level up the fitness experience with BeFit. Thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
Of the 64 people on your wait list, have any of them prepaid?
Only one at the moment.
When you talk about the training, the model for machine learning and actually deriving the data you're going to produce, talk about the effort level to do that and how you can make sure that you're developing valuable, insightful apps as opposed to just generic.
Absolutely. So that actually goes into the fundamental architecture of how we're handling the algorithm itself. We're doing something called the Markov decision process. How you can think about this is that there's an agent, which is the AI itself, working in an environment, working off of reward functions. How it works is that it basically optimizes itself to be able to satisfy certain requirements. There are some short-term requirements, such as the feedback the user gives after the workout. We want a 6 to 8 satisfaction rate on the workouts themselves, as well as a long-term reward function, which is the capability of losing weight or gaining muscle, depending on what the user posts.
So you guys have a number of things between the presentation and materials where you're looking at both guiding workouts as well as making recommendations on diet. You talked about the artificial intelligence as well as some gamification as well as a social aspect. Where are your priorities? Which are the things you're focused on first?
The MVP right now, which is our main priority, is being released entirely only with a workout recommendation. We want to achieve a model that can achieve a performance that people prefer to normal workout recommendation softwares or applications, and that is our first key performance indicator to show we're doing the right thing.
So, out of curiosity, then, most apps in the iOS and Google app stores are going to be 99 cents, so that's an incredibly competitive market. Why are people going to be interested in paying over 99 a month?
We ended up concluding on the price of $11.99 a month by looking at our different competitors within the market. Most averaged around a price between $13.99 and $15.99. We wanted to keep it slightly lower just to allow our target market for college students who maybe don't have as much disposable income as our older audience to be able to not necessarily think about spending $11.99 a month, and we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be something that really drained their pocket.
Just to add a little bit on that, I hope my addendums were added. Yes, they were. Some of the largest market sharers in the industry right now have a business model where the monthly subscription is around $13 to $15.
Congratulations on making it to this point, first of all. I'm a fitness app junkie, so I was really excited to see this. It looks like you've got a lot of content that you're planning for, from the fitness videos to the recipes and the other health content. So if you could talk a little bit about how much of that content in terms of quantity will be live when you launch on Monday, and what your plan is to continue to scale that content.
So right now we actually have a full database of exercises counting around 6,000. And that is with all different types of equipment. It can be home workouts, it can be calisthenics, gym equipment. We have all that sorted, clean, and ready to go. When it comes to the video data, that's actually going to be ready for the beta. And in terms of the dietary, that is going to be worked on starting next year.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, I'm a personal trainer myself, so all of the data that we inputted into our algorithm was reviewed by me. All summer for around 8 months, we've been consciously looking at all the workouts and the regimens and the explanations, and just to make sure that everything that is inputted into our system is correct for the users and easy to understand.
So just to make sure I understand, you guys are developing the workouts yourselves?
We are taking workouts, workouts can be found anywhere, and we're just making sure that we have as many as possible for the users to not necessarily choose from, but for our algorithm to pull from. And we just reviewed all of them to make sure that they were correct.
So it's the generative AI that's going to decide what you give me, as opposed to a person. So what am I going to have to give you in order for you to give me something that makes sense for my body, and how are you keeping my data secure?
You can talk about security, but I'll talk about the onboarding itself. So it's very important to note that the more data the algorithm has, the better it can perform. But not everyone feels comfortable giving out all their data away, which makes perfect sense. Which is why we're employing a 3-method onboarding system, where you actually can select how much information you're giving away. So on the lower end, you can actually just provide your basic information. It can be your height, it can be your weight, and so on, and your age. And based on that, we're capable of providing some basic recommendations. The biggest blessing about the market decision process is that it learns as it gives you the workouts. So over time, even if the first recommendations are not that accurate, it will continually learn what works best for you and adapt itself based on that. On the other side, you can select the more advanced onboarding that goes with the more scientific and psychological features, and that'll help it start away much stronger than what it would be otherwise. You want to talk about security?
For the security, it is important for users to ensure that the data is secured by the app. So we are using the AWS architecture, which is Amazon Web Service architecture. So the backend is hosted by AWS Amplify, so which have a security service called AWS Kubernetes. So the user data will be like encrypted with the Amazon Web Service. So yeah.
Can I just ask a follow-up? If I get something that's generated from you, what am I giving the app back so that it knows to give me something different or the same? Okay.
Absolutely. So that will be slightly workshopped. What we have right now is we want to do a simple 3-question set of how much did you enjoy your workout? How hard do you think it was? And would you do this workout again? And based on those 3 questions, that's what you're feeding the AI. This is more so of an iterative process and seeing what works best, and those questions might be getting changed later.
You can also manually input, so for like each set you're doing, you can manually input how much weight you did and how many reps you actually ended up performing, maybe if you didn't perform all of them, and our algorithm will be able to adjust to that.
You mentioned you have go-to-market, customer acquisition costs of $25 per customer. What goes into that?
So a lot of that cost is actually going to be the social media marketing we're going to be employing. We are going for cost per click ads, and the engagement rate of these are about 1.5%, and the cost is 0.94 if the figures are right. I'm just heading it off from my head. But it's also very important to note that right now our biggest form of marketing is direct. And just by talking directly to people and getting that initial customer base, we're capable of actually spreading a good amount with a conversion rate of about 64% just from directly talking.
Thank you, judges.
It's no mystery that AI has been evolving rapidly in recent times. We've all been seeing stories about it in the news and posts about it on social media. Neural networks are a subfield of AI, but arguably the largest one, as they're responsible for all of these recent breakthroughs. Because of this, more people than ever are trying to understand how they work. But right now, the learning process for the concepts behind this technology is very flawed, and I'll explain why. But before I go into that, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Cade Harger, the sole founder of GlassBrain. I have many years of experience in multiple ways that are all relevant to the company. This includes being self, school, and online course taught in AI, so I've seen many different ways of learning that currently exist. During the learning process, Neural network concepts are almost always taught with the help of flowcharts. These are great resources because they're visual. They help learners gain a big picture understanding. These same concepts are always implemented with computer code. This is because it's the only existing way to do so. These coding languages, however, are not designed to represent neural network concepts for beginners. This leads to code generally being a poor learning resource. It's an additional skill people need to know that isn't related to the topic. Also, code is just intimidating. Imagine a new learner being discouraged when they see hundreds of lines of code and don't know what a single one of them means. And lastly, learners have to constantly translate back and forth between flowcharts and code because neither does a complete job at capturing the ideas. The solution? To fix this, we need one form of representing the concepts. We need a representation that is both visual like flowcharts, but actually usable like code. Right here on the right is the flowchart of the concepts behind ChatGPT. Flowcharts like these are just static images. They don't work, at least for now. There's no reason it actually has to be this way. This is that same diagram being created in Glassbrain. This is an interface where users can drag, drop, and connect building blocks together to create neural network diagrams that actually function. Glassbrain is a desktop app that users can download and install from our website to experiment with neural network models in a more intuitive way. You can think of Scratch if you're familiar with it, but for artificial intelligence. Glassbrain is simply a better interface for learning than coding. With it, there's no more barrier to entry created by code, and there's no more jumping back and forth between flowcharts and code, struggling to translate their meanings. Glassbrain will make money by integrating itself into the learning processes of existing learning methods in various ways. This data here shows the ways people learn to code. We can expect this to be very similar for the ways people will learn neural networks, since people generally come from the same backgrounds and use the concepts in similar ways. While Glassbrain could integrate its desktop app into the learning process of almost all of these resources, the first ventures it will pursue serve individuals who learn through miscellaneous online resources and those who learn through online courses and certifications. Glassbrain will do this by creating a curriculum of learning modules integrated into its desktop app and selling them to individuals. Each learning module will cover a greater neural network topic. First, the concept and its importance will be introduced. Then the user will be guided through the creation of the learning module that demonstrates the topic, with each step explained in depth. Then the user will be challenged to improve upon the neural network that they just created by applying concepts from other modules. Glassbrain uses this structure as opposed to one whole course structure because it encourages people to start at whatever point they're comfortable with, not just the beginning. The people that will use these learning modules are anyone trying to learn neural networks at an entry level for any reason. This could be out of their own curiosity, to advance their career, or to simply understand what AI is fully capable of. Glassbrain will offer a free version with access to its desktop app, as well as any 3 learning modules of the user's choice. From this point, users can purchase more modules on a one-off basis, with prices ranging from $2 to $10 depending on the module's size. Users can also purchase the premium version of Glassbrain, costing an accessible $50. These users get unlimited access to learning modules and a few additional small features. Glassbrain conservatively estimates the total intro machine learning education industry to be worth $350 million. Language barriers, among other things, will prevent Glassbrain's ability to reach all potential customers, so the serviceable market is much smaller. I believe Glassbrain will achieve a valuation of $5 million in the next 3 years. This is reasonable because of how strongly it will stand out from its competitors, which are any entry-level method for learning neural networks. These can typically be divided into 2 groups: free resources and paid courses. Free resources are often one-off videos or blogs, and they're monetized through advertisements. Paid courses can be taken in a variety of ways, and their prices vary greatly depending on their quality and depth. The bottom line, though, is that all existing learning methods rely on code for implementation, which causes learners to suffer, and Glassbrain doesn't use this, which makes it stand out in a market with already very little differentiation. Glassbrain plans to enter this market by using the following as primary strategies. First, it will market itself on social media and forums where interested people discuss AI. These channels have a large potential for both paid and free marketing. Additionally, Glassbrain will run paid ads on its ad-supported competitors to ensure it reaches people who are taking action to learn. And lastly, Glassbrain will have an extra focus on maintaining a positive product reputation within the AI community. This is especially important because of how different Glassbrain is from its competitors. This makes its reputation more impactful and causes it to have a greater potential to spread via word of mouth. So, moving forward. Right now, Glassbrain's drag and drop interface is complete and working. Right? But the desktop app as a whole isn't quite done yet. I plan to have this finished in December, and once I do, I'll begin creating the learning modules. I expect to have these finished in the early summer of 2024, and around this time I'll plan to bring on 1 or 2 additional team members to help me soft launch GlassBrain to ensure no critical issues arise. By December of 2024, I hope to have GlassBrain established within the AI industry as having a proven ability to help people learn, which will help it expand to schools for use in a classroom setting. So, if I win, I would allocate any of the final round funding as follows. The largest amount would go towards the creation of learning modules. I plan to create these learning modules in-house, but then pay experts to review them afterwards. This strikes a healthy balance of having GlassBrain have a high-quality, expert-reviewed curriculum, but not breaking the bank by having the experts create the content itself. I also plan to allocate a large amount to marketing in the ways discussed prior, and I plan to set aside $5,000 to incentivize bringing on the future employees, and as well for paying for any justifiable freelance work. The remaining funds are allocated towards minimizing risk through legal oversight and optimizing GlassBrain's website, which is the primary way its desktop app will be distributed. And before I close, I would like to say that GlassBrain is personal for me. Almost 3 years ago, when I was learning AI technologies, I saw what they were capable of. I blew my mind because I've been coding for many years and I couldn't understand how they could possibly work. So I began learning through various online resources, but I became frustrated with the learning process and having to use code and rely on it despite my familiarity. So I actually searched for the concept of what GlassBrain is because I thought surely it already existed, and if it did, I knew it would profoundly enhance my learning experience. But it didn't exist, so here I am. Thank you, and I'm ready for any questions.
The core of what you've built, the cool thing appears to be that machine, or like scratch for machine learning, right? The ability to easily kind of drag and drop to create these machine learning systems. Could you talk a little bit about why you're choosing to monetize that via education or by educating people about machine learning systems as opposed to some other way of monetizing that technology?
Yeah, so I think education is a good route for this to go because people use code. Code is not something that can be avoided in the long-term learning process. GlassBrain is an entry point into the field, and it makes these concepts accessible by having a visual. Code, the reason people use code throughout the more advanced concepts of the field is because it provides greater access and control than that you realistically can't just get with a visual interface like this. That could be access to other coding things and integrating with other businesses or APIs. And you really can't do that with a visual interface, but that's not something that learners need to worry about.
Okay, I really like the creativity that you brought to a very technical detail, and so I commend you for that thinking outside of the box, but literally using those boxes to make it simplified, right? My question is more in your financial model, because software companies have all very long ago figured out that recurring revenue is where it's at. So can you talk about your thinking process behind doing the $50 premium fee as a one-time fee? Would you consider either for the learning modules or for that premium service making it a recurring fee so that you could build a business that has some growth to it?
Yes, I have considered using a recurring fee plan, and I think it's something I would eventually try out. This would be because I plan to eventually keep adding learning modules over time after the product's release. I think a recurring fee would make sense because it would give people continued access to these new learning modules. I do, however, think that given the nature of it being a learning platform, its value has kind of tanks after the user's finished learning. So one module a month might not cut it.
Well, let me just follow up on that, because I'm trying to understand the cycle here. If I learn how to code with the flow diagrams, I still don't know how to code the old-fashioned way, right? So what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for you to transform the industry, right? So can you actually dream more broadly like that and actually develop this, maybe in the way Dan was thinking, into something that allows us to be the way we all start managing with machine learning sort of interfaces going forward?
I think it's possible. It's something I had initially considered when pursuing this idea. At the moment, am one person. I do have limited experience, so I think a professional grade product might not be, down my alley yet. I do plan to have that and to at least explore that option in the future. Yeah.
Okay. To follow up a little bit on that question, all right, let me ask you a different way. what do you think the life cycle is of the user of your product?
I think the user will go first. They'll try out the free version. They'll go through the 3 learning modules for free. They'll see the value of representing concepts using GlassBrain's interface by taking the 3 modules. They will purchase the premium version. They will go and experience all of those modules, and then they will have a strong foundation of the concepts behind neural networks. And if they did want to go code, well, there's 2 things. One of the additional features I plan to add was actually like a translator from GlassBrain to code, so someone could build it and then learn how to code that way. Also, though, even if they didn't have that, I think it would, like I used Scratch to learn coding when I was younger, and it taught me like the concepts of coding, and then it made learning how to like actually code using just typing a lot easier because it took out the pain points.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. My next question is, I heard you, my first question was universities versus individuals, and I saw something in the documentation. And then at the end, you said in December 2024, you want it to be in schools. Is the idea that GlassBrain will be in universities, college and universities, or high schools? Or is the thought that it would be, lay people that would just pick it up and pay?
It would be, well, the individuals would be lay people that pick it up and pay. That's it. I kind of see, and those would typically be people from a computer science background. Those people, or people like myself. And then I kind of see them as a sort of a foot into the door to universities and schools later on in the December area. Because schools expect something that has a proven ability to learn. After talking to people over the summer, I learned that I can't expect to just start selling to schools right away without any evidence that this works. So I think by selling to individuals and just having people use it without any commitment, they'll be able to see that it works, and then that'll help me expand later on.
So, could this be flipped and tell me why the AI does what it does? So instead of teaching me how to make a neural network, to actually go look at a neural network running and then map out its decision criteria?
I think that would be a different kind of innovation than what I have here. I'm more focused on okay, I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood your question. Are you saying like you could input a neural network into GlassBrain and then it would explain how it works?
Yeah.
Okay. That is something I believe I could potentially look into doing. That would take a bit more time to create if I'm thinking about it right now. But definitely something to pursue. I feel like there's a lot of different directions that I could take this.
With the enterprise adoption of AI and business owners wanting to understand what it's actually doing and not having it be a black box, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Thank you.
Hi. You've shared your personal journey about trying to find something to help, learn about all of this, and then I see that you've conducted a survey and you've gotten some feedback. Could you talk about how many people you surveyed and what traction you have or audience validation to show that this is something that your audience is excited about?
Yeah, so I don't recall the exact number of people I'd surveyed off my head. I used I sent out an email to the mailing list for computer science majors at Trinity. I also put a few posts on Reddit where people, in channels where people go to learn machine learning, and I got a few responses from that. And generally, they all kind of echoed the same idea, especially where they kind of lack in entry points into the field of AI, and I think GlassBrain, being so different from its competitors, stands out and is this one centralized entry point. I've also heard a lot of talking through my peers. I took an AI class at Trinity, one of the only ones, and I told my friend one time, we were walking out of class, and he basically explained to me my introductory pitch of what the problem was. I was like, dude, I wish I could have recorded you saying that. Yeah, so I've also heard it through there. I've experienced the problem myself. I'm confident that it's a real problem that needs solving.
all the other teams here have multiple folks, but you're a sole founder. Could you talk a little bit about why that's the route you're pursuing?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, I came into the competition as a sole founder because I knew I would be spending 40 hours a week, more than 40 hours a week, coding this whole summer. So I didn't really see. I guess I could have brought on some of my computer science peers. This was a vision that was very unique to me, and it kind of just came down to I didn't have anyone that wasn't already committed by the time I made the decision to do this. And I think it makes the most sense to bring on like business-oriented people once I do try to go scale that, because I am a computer science major. I think that was the timer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James O'Gurman, and I am the founder and CEO of the Beast Collection. The Beast Collection is a lifestyle apparel athleisure wear company that will disrupt the world with the Beast mindset. And so you're probably wondering, what is the Beast mindset? It's having tenacity, grit, and determination. An individual that's a beast is an individual striving to be great at a consistently high level. And so, what have we done since the seed round? We've been in 30 different gyms in cities such as Houston, San Antonio, Baltimore, and Los Angeles. We have done $18,000 in sales. We have 40 influencers and brand ambassadors in college towns such as Houston, College Station, San Antonio, and you name it. And we have a product line of 7+ products, varying in various different colorways. And here they are, the Beast Collection product line, from t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and tank tops. And I can tell you today, when an individual wears our product, they'll feel a little bit extra motivation. They'll start to feel and have that beast mindset. And they'll actually they'll be a beast when it's all said and done. Here are customer testimonials from individuals that have worn the Beast Collection product line. They hit on topics such as their best shorts, comfort, durability, just the overall brand and vision of the Beast Collection. Here's our business model. Our revenue stream will consist of sales from our e-commerce platform, in gyms and pop-up events, and our products will be manufactured and outsourced from manufacturers on e-commerce platform Alibaba, and we'll be able to maintain margins of 60% or greater. And our marketing strategy will entail social media ads via Instagram, Twitter/X, Snapchat, and influencers and brand ambassadors will be able to promote our brand and help us grow and scale as we go greater. And we're very organic when it comes to marketing. Who wouldn't want to be a beast? Who wouldn't want to have the beast mindset? And as we grow and scale our business, we'll be able to insert ourselves in retail stores and partner with people that already have that beast mindset. Our military. We'll be able to be more cost effective and increase our margins by manufacturing raw materials in-house. And brand showcases. That would be our bread and butter. We'll bring lifestyle, fitness influencers and gym goers alike just to connect with each other and build a community. Here's our website. I implore each and one of y'all right now to search up the beastcollectionus.com and subscribe to our email chain. And in the comment section, type in "Vote for Beast," and that will allow you to get a coupon of 20% when we put our product on the website. We don't have products on the website right now because we sold out. Everybody wanted it. And so I implore y'all to do that right now. And so we know there's competition in this market from giants such as Nike, Lululemon, and Under Armour, but we're the Beast Collection. It takes a certain level mindset in order to embody this brand. We've already built a community. From Herb Stumberg buying our hoodies, my guy from the right with the Beach Collection shorts on, we have customers right here in this auditorium, and that's what we've built. We've already organized 5 pop-up events this summer since the seed round. We also provided 7 free gym classes to individuals that wore our products to the gym, and they loved it. And we have 30 sponsored athletes, as I referenced earlier, in college towns as Houston, San Antonio, College Station, Huntsville, you name it. So what will we do with the 25,000 Stumberg? We will be able to grow our presence in gyms to 90, accumulate sales of $78,000, grow our influencers and brand ambassadorships to 150 plus, and also increase our product line to 10 plus products, varying from various different colorways. So here's how we're going to distribute the funds. Well, bulk of the funds will go to bulk production, which will be $12,500. $6,500 will be allocated to sampling products, e-commerce costs, photo shoots, pop-up events, and social media marketing. And we'll be left with a working capital of $6,000 to allocate to any of these various avenues that may need it. So, here's the team. I'm James O'Gurran, the founder and CEO of the Beast Collection. I'm a business administration major with a concentration in marketing. I'm an athlete here at Trinity University. I play on the football team. And my partner, Opie Lewis, is also a business management major. And he brings a very unique skill set that will be able to grow and help us scale our business. So that's the Beast Collection. I thank you all. And like I said in reference earlier, please search up the beastcollectionus.com. You guys will be the first to know when products drop and understanding what we mean and what we're building here at the Beast Collection. Thank you.
How you're curating something different if you're using Alibaba as your main supplier?
Yeah, so there's a misconception of Alibaba being the manufacturer. Alibaba puts us in the right direction to manufacturers. And so during the process of getting my products, I'm able to sample them first. And so while sampling the products, I'm able to defer which is good and which is not good. And I wouldn't give a product to individuals that I don't like. And so I am put in the right direction to the manufacturers. Alibaba is not our manufacturer, but the manufacturers on the e-commerce platform are the people that we're outsourcing from.
And so thank you for your answer. You've chosen 1 or 2 manufacturers and you've sampled that product and comfortable that it is at a different level than the others. Is there an opportunity as you go forward, right? You'll go to 10 brands, 2 products. Will you ever go in person to see and inspect? What did you expect?
Yes. Like I said, I have high goals. And so I believe taking a trip out there and seeing the product for itself and seeing who I'm dealing with will be beneficial. But like I referenced earlier in my presentation, bringing everything in-house, like the raw materials and custom fits, will be able to be more beneficial and cost-effective than using the e-commerce platform, Alibaba, at the moment. But with the lack of capital that we have, that's the only avenue I can take. And so with this very extensive sampling process to ensure that our customers have the best product.
Are you familiar, it seems like branding is going to be a really important part of this moving forward, and are you familiar with the Beast Mode brand? And do you anticipate there being any trademark or copyright infringements that you're going to face as you gain in popularity?
Yeah, and so I personally know the brand you're talking about. Like I said earlier, I'm an athlete here, and I play football, and I actually own a Beast Mode cleat And so I've already trademarked the Beast collection on a trademark, the official Trademark USA channel. So that won't be a problem moving forward. And also, in advertising, we're not using anything to do with the Beast mode. It's the Beast mindset, it's the Beast collection, and the logo itself.
So just to clarify, so it's the visual that you've trademarked? Have you attempted to trademark the words Beast Collection?
Yes, the actual trademark was the Beast. This actual logo right here is what I trademarked, the Beast collection. I'm probably going to trademark the actual B on the collection, on the logo, and the Beast. So all my property will be safe.
When you talk about bringing manufacturing in-house, is that bringing it into the U.S. or is that just bringing it under your control?
Yeah, both. I found that manufacturers here, in relation to those abroad, I can be more cost effective working with people abroad. And so as I grow and have this big mindset that we're gonna grow and scale and build this company into a six-figure company, we were able to purchase and manufacture in-house here in the United States without having to go overseas. But overseas partnerships will also be a huge beneficial to the brand.
So you mentioned e-commerce, retail, and I think even government with military opportunities. Each of those is an interesting and enormous business to go build. There are different strategies. How do you move through that process, or where do you start?
And so right now, our biggest point of emphasis will be our e-commerce store. And like I referenced earlier, being organic and being able to market that, individuals who will see the brand, know what we're about and know what we're building, and then have the opportunity to check out the e-commerce store and the products on in the store. And so also that will help us generate more revenue, more audience to be able to insert ourselves in the big name retail stores that you see today with the Nikes, with the Lululemons, with the Adidas, and that will be able to be beneficial for us too.
I really like the energy you're bringing to this, right? You clearly have this mindset, and I commend you for that. I want to understand how you position yourself, right? Because I'm seeing two different aspects. I'm seeing a branded focus, which clearly is the main excitement that you have around the brand. But I'm also hearing you say, and then the business plan read about, low-cost provider, right? And so it's tough to straddle markets. There's a lot of, of businesses that have lost their way because they're not sure if they're the low-cost provider or they're the high-end provider. And the question is, maybe a two-part question. If it is low-cost provider, then how do you compete against the plethora of other competitors in Amazon Marketplace and other channels that could that you and be cheaper?
Yeah, that's a very great question. And during this process, I had to decide whether I wanted to be low cost or high end. And I am, like I said, building a community. And so as I think I can build that community is through being more on the medium side of the medium side of how individuals purchase their products. And so I believe our organic branding and marketing would be a driving force in order to get those margins to be able to compete with our customers, whether that be low end or high end.
All right, I appreciate that. And then talking about Amazon Marketplace, do you see yourself going to Amazon and using them as a distribution channel, or are you focused primarily on selling through your website and word of mouth?
Yeah, I'm just focused on our e-commerce platform, and as we grow and scale, inserting ourselves in retail stores, and also, like I said, military partnerships, because they already have that beast mindset.
Reese, co-founder and CEO.
I'm Ashley Reese, co-founder and chief scientific officer, and we're here today because we're on a mission to change women's wellness.
So we'd like to start off by telling you a story. This is Mariana. She loves telenovelas, she loves to travel, and her greatest dream is to be a mother. What you wouldn't be able to tell upon first looking at her is that Mariana has had 3 miscarriages just this year. She's jumped from doctor to doctor, but every single doctor that she's visited has put her on a medication that has had bad side effects. She can't control her severe PCOS. She doesn't know what to do about her chronic fatigue, inflammation, and she's estranged with her body and doesn't know what to do.
But it's not just Mariana. So many women struggle with feeling unheard by their doctors, dealing with unexplained symptoms, having a strained relationship with food, dealing with chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and generally being strung along in a journey to find their health with no solution. And Sophia and I are no stranger to this story, and our research shows that 57% of women admit that themselves don't know as much about their own bodies as they feel they should. And women are chronically underrepresented in medical data.
The story of Will and Worthy begins with Ashley and I. We both have experienced chronic illness, and we dared to ask the question, what if it didn't have to be this way? What if there was a way to help women finally understand their bodies, give them the resources to understand what's going on, and a natural solution to support their PCOS symptoms, to help with PMS, to get rid of that chronic fatigue and inflammation?
This is where cycle syncing comes in. Cycle syncing takes the fundamental difference between women and men's hormonal cycles. Women operate on a 20-day 8-long cycle, and this is different from the male 24-hour hormonal cycle, which most health and wellness solutions are centered around. Therefore, when it's applied to women, they miss the mark. Cycle syncing goes with the ebb and flow of women's hormones throughout the month to provide you tailored solutions for your health and wellness. And you can see differences in weight loss, muscle training, and the treatment of reproductive symptoms.
So, well, you may be familiar with cycle tracking, which is simply logging your menstrual cycle dates, and apps exist for this. But cycle syncing takes tracking to the next level. It's based on modern-day science that tailors your fitness, your nutrition, and your lifestyle, all to your hormonal ebbs and flows throughout the month. This allows you to become familiar with your bodily processes and has been proven to support your hormones, chronic fatigue, chronic illness, and more. We wanted to find a resource to help us with these things. As I was dealing with chronic illness, I began to look into cycle syncing, and I thought, surely there's something that could help me make sense of all of this and implement it into my own life. But that is why we are building our application. And her name is Melody. That is so that women can live in harmony with their hormones and in sync with themselves. It takes the modern-day science of cycle syncing, and it combines it with holistic practitioner techniques to combat chronic illness symptoms, help women manage PMS and infertility, get real fitness results in the gym for women, and actually have a healthy living designed for the female body.
Melody is a modern, all-in-one interface that takes insight to action. We plan to offer a calendar and cycle tracking page with tabs for nutritional advising, guided movement, and community chatting to create a holistic, all-in-one supportive wellness solutions for you. Our plan is to have the support that you need through your pain, your progress, and to show your preferences.
So our revenue structure is based off of a freemium model. This means that our basic community platform, our calendar interface, and our educational resources are free. This way we draw in user interest and we have the potential for ad-based revenue down the line. Our premium features are access to our supportive secret sauce, so to speak. It begins with our exercise plan, which has daily workouts, nutrition, and the ability to track your progress throughout the month. Just as a woman's nutritional needs ebb and flow throughout the month, so does our nutritional plan along with her, while our mental and emotional health resources allow for women to understand their changing brain chemistry and to optimize their lives.
We know that cycle syncing is a hot topic right now, and we're here to strike the iron while it's hot. Where we come in is at the specific intersection of reproductive health and chronic illness symptom support, an area with high comorbidization, but currently with little resources to support women. Our unique value comes from our ability to combine chronic illness input with access to educational resources, community features, centered in an all-in-one symptom tracker, and our supportive plans.
So this is where we stand out against our competitors. We've seen lifestyle apps, cycle tracking, fitness apps, it's all on the market, but we're the sweet spot. We can provide women's wellness in your pocket that takes all of these features and makes it accessible all at a competitive price. Our market is made up of 1.8 billion menstruating women. We know that that's a big number, so we've broken it down into our addressable and attainable markets. And our addressable market being women with chronic illness, with reproductive health issues, as well as fitness enthusiasts. Our attainable market is made up of women with PMS symptoms, as well as women with medically unexplained symptoms. This is our attainable market that we can address now. That way we can have an immediate impact. We also begin to plan to start locally here in San Antonio, collaborating with local health practitioners and holistic practitioners to expand our audience. Our expected growth is based off of our predicted 12% premium conversion rate, as well as around 300 predicted users to start. These numbers are based off of our competitors' numbers when they were at our stage, as well as our beta waitlist growth and our social media metrics. Our marketing strategy is three-pronged, and it begins with our social media. Our social media creates a community so that women can feel at home, they can understand what's going on with their body, and get access to educational resources. All of these things will funnel them into our paid marketing and promotional marketing for our application. Finally, our podcast, which stands all on its own, is a paid partnership with Spotify and is already a source of direct income for us. It provides the ability to have collaboration episodes, to expand, as well as to be able to grow our venture. Our social media and marketing is already in full swing, as you can see here. We've received amazing feedback from our community so far. Our most recent collaboration has tons of access to an expanded audience, and our traction is growing with over 10,000 listens on our podcast so far. We know that we're tapping into the women's wellness market, which is expected to reach over $58 billion by the year 2030. That's why we're tapping in.
A majority of the 5K investment from the seed round was allotted for future planning, and the rest was invested in these areas listed. Through the Accelerator program, we learned entrepreneurial skills and also entered a paid partnership with Spotify, as well as entering a cycle syncing certification program to grow our expertise and experience in the area. Our plans for the 25K are a majority allotted for our app development, as well as IP and domain costs, which covers the two years projected by our contracted designer. And where we are going is next summer we plan to launch a beta version, and currently we have a waitlist of 92 people and growing, as well as launch our premium packages a year from now. Our team is seen above.
And we come to you today to pitch for this $25,000 so that we can actually help real women, just like Mariana, combat their chronic illness symptoms, help them feel at home in their bodies, and finally understand what all is happening to them. We want to make a difference, and we're well and worthy. An investment in us is an investment in the new era of women's wellness. Thank you for your time.
As a mediocre white man, I have a lot of tremendously valuable opinions on what y'all are doing. No, seriously though, I'll ask you the same question that I asked the BFit folks. You're talking about kind of spanning the capabilities of other apps with exercise, nutrition, and mental and emotional health. How do you prioritize those?
Yes, sir. So, to get clarification, by prioritize them, do you mean which do we put first in terms of like our design, or?
It could be which you plan to attack first, but also there's never enough budget to do everything you want. When push comes to shove, which direction would you lean?
Absolutely. So we're going to be leaning in the fitness direction first, primarily because our mentor is an exercise scientist who is a personal coach, and we've been receiving training from her. I'm also a spin instructor, and we also have found research that exercise can combat PCOS and help infertility. We know that that's a priority. We would also like to put our mental health resources, however, but that's a bit of a cheaper budget, including things like journal prompts, etc. That's easier to format and come up with on our own.
There's also the most support in terms of scientific and medical literature for how exercise and nutrition can impact the body and help combat some of these disorders and chronic illness symptoms that we've mentioned.
I love the energy and the passion that you have into this. So first of all, congratulations on that. From your marketing plan, talk about how you get to, I think you said 10,000 users in the first year and then 55,000 users. That seems like a really steep, ambitious, but what I want to know is how you actually get to those numbers.
Yes, sir. So our plan right now is to begin with our organic growth process, and the reason that we predicted those numbers was based on the way our social media metrics have been growing. And we also have looked at cost for advertising via like paid promotional stuff on social media.
it's actually relatively affordable with the 25,000. So we're looking at including that in our already existing community. That should get us to those numbers relatively quickly. We also know that this is a really hot market right now. It's almost a race to the finish line. So getting users will be a little less difficult considering it's such a huge trend.
Women are also already seeking out these resources through our surveying over the summer, as well as through both qualitative and quantitative. People are already seeking these solutions out, whether it's via YouTube, Instagram, trying other apps such as some of the competitors that mentioned and not being satisfied with them. People are already going out and seeking these solutions, and there's several other apps that are rising well. So it really is kind of a race to the finish to see who can be the most successful, and that's one of the things in our unique value is that chronic illness support. Right now it's either one or the other. You can either have sort of these cycle tracking and supportive measures in your life, or you can have chronic illness, but there is a big intersection in this area, and it's important to acknowledge that and provide the women who are seeking these as a resource, that tool in their lives.
Great, and that's actually my second question, right? So you've got, first of all, a great strategy for creating and analyze data. So I think that's brilliant, but what is your hook that you're using to convert patients, users from other platforms to your platform?
Interesting. So do you mean by that by cycle syncing or cycle tracking platforms that already exist?
Or the other health and wellness apps that are out there?
Understood. Yeah. So we plan to, our biggest thing, and we've been talking about it the whole Stumberg Accelerator, is education. That's our main goal with this whole thing. So if we're able to provide that education to women, they bump into it for free on social media. They think, wow, maybe there's something that's more tailored to me. Maybe there's something that can actually do it all. And it's not just giving me things that are designed for men and it's going to help my symptoms. So it's our all-in-one approach that hopefully will be our draw.
And that's sort of the difference when we mentioned the freemium model earlier. We are going to have a baseline cycle tracking version available with access to those educational resources as well as some other community tracking features. But the real cycle syncing aspects and coaching comes in once you purchase the freemium plan, and that's when you get access to sort of the more personalized and tailored to your biometrics, your cycle, your experiences. The rest of that is going to be general. But it's also a sort of a cost-benefit analysis of personal time. People's time is money. And people don't really want to spend, obviously you want to understand your body, but you have a lot of other things going on in your life. And so by creating something that's cost-effective compared to our competitors, we've made it easy for people to access these resources without having to necessarily invest the huge time and money into understanding themselves and curating all of these things for themselves.
How about the guys be the only ones to talk? Super impressive, ladies.
Thank you.
I really love the research that's behind this. And so I want to ask, what do you view as your biggest challenge moving forward? What's the biggest threat to your success?
I think that it's the educational hump. Like, even coming here to pitch today, we thought, okay, we spent months breaking down how do we break down this crazy concept where people just hear hormones, they hear all these words thrown at them. How do we break this down, and how do we do that via our marketing strategy? So doing that in a very succinct, concise way that people will actually grab onto, I think is important and will also be a challenge in a way.
I have 4 questions.
I'd love to hear it.
I've been waiting. How large is your community currently?
Yeah, so it depends on the metrics you're looking at. We have over 10,000 listens on the podcast, but we've only recently launched some other platforms. So like our Instagram and TikTok. Instagram is more recent than our TikTok. Our TikTok has, I think, 400 followers right now, but our Instagram just got launched a few months ago, so I think it has, off the top of my head, about 200.
It's actually, I think it's closer to 400. Closer to 400.
Okay, so it's growing, but it's about finding that link. We do have a basic connector in our bio so that people can find our other resources, and every podcast episode we make sure to promote the Instagram and TikTok as well.
That's brilliant. How many people, you said you have a wait list of 94, is that right?
92. Yes,
92? Of those 92, how many people have paid you something yet?
Right, so it depends how you look at it, because some of them are podcast listeners, and some of those people pay for a premium subscription to my podcast per se for additional features. So we've gotten some revenue via that. It's hard to say who of them because we don't have their personal information, but a lot of them came from that source. However, in terms of our beta, nothing as of yet for that.
So, but what I hear you saying is folks know that this app is coming based on your podcast.
Yes, sir.
And they're, okay, excellent. That's great. How much of my data am I going to have to give to you in order to get something back that is tailored to me? And how are you going to keep my data secure?
Your questions. So I'll go on the backing. So one of the first things that we wanted to take into consideration in building this app was actually our users' data. Privacy is utmost was in the front of our mind for this entire thing, especially considering the legal and everything that's been going on in politics recently in the United States. And we actually decided against producing it in-house for those reasons. We wanted to work with someone who is already trained in creating HIPAA and SOC2 compliant apps that is where we have our contracted designer from. And so he can speak a lot more to the specifics of how the data is being protected itself, but we are working with someone who is at the peak of their field to ensure that users' data is protected in that way.
Also, data encryption is a technique that we're using so that we have the legal loopholes. We're protected as a company and our users are protected. It's anonymized as well as encrypted in a very specific way that other applications are using. Considering like the recent lawsuits with Flow and whatnot, we'd like to sidestep that and give users confidence when it comes to this.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can we get one last round of applause for all of the amazing businesses tonight? You know, it is always incredibly amazing to see how much these groups have grown since their seed rounds, right? So the judges are currently exiting right now for their deliberations, but the competition is far from over. So while the judges decide on our winners, you too can now choose to vote for a venture you believe should receive some extra love. The team with the highest number of votes will be given the award of Fan Favorite. After you pick your fan favorite, we'll listen to a short video from the prior finalists and hear from our president of Trinity University, Dr. Vanessa Beasley. So please remain in your seats and open your program to the judge criteria page and scan the QR code and cast your vote.
My name is Andres Sandoval. I am the CEO of Cloud Therapy.
I'm Chris Stewart, a past Stumberg Prize winner.
I'm Tiffany Perez, and I'm a student at Trinity University, and I competed in the 2020 Stumberg competition.
My name is Neha Kapoor, and I am the founder and CEO of Chiropac.
My name is Diego Trevino. I am the co-founder of Global Artisanal Brands.
My name is Jacob Burrell-Zeidelman, and I'm co-founder of Quick Sip Coffee.
Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's like climbing a mountain. The higher you go, the less oxygen you have, the tougher it gets. And it's a fast-paced life, but it's exciting. Hence the reason why I always travel. But to any of you that have some hesitancy to apply or jump the gun in this world of entrepreneurship, I say do it. You have an environment that you can fail, and failure is probably one of the most important things in entrepreneurship. You will learn so much after you eat it, and you'll get back up and hopefully not fail again.
It's an amazing experience, and probably the most impactful part of it for me was writing out a real substantial business plan, which is an amazing skill, a great skill to develop. And the Stumberg experience overall, it helps you to develop your presentation skills, your networking skills, and of course your business plan, writing out a business plan.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. It was a dream of mine, and that's why I chose the university, because of its entrepreneurial program, and the Stumberg competition helped to accomplish that. So being able to make the decisions on ultimately that determine my business model's success or failures, that holds a lot of weight and responsibility. However, I do know, I know nobody will get in the way of my vision but myself. So despite, yes, it's very challenging being a student and starting up and the Stumberg competition and all, but I promise you, it is all worth it for sure.
Chiropac was really born with the Stumberg competition. I had some amazing mentors really encourage me to apply and take a chance on the company, take a chance on myself. When all Chiropac was an idea in the back of my head, and they really helped me take it from idea to an actual company. And I think what's really neat about the program is that you have these people judging you, these people listening to your pitch. And what's so exciting is that they feel the same level of energy and enthusiasm for your product or service or your company as you do.
I would definitely not be the person that I am today, and I would certainly not do what I do for a living if it wasn't for Stumberg Venture Competition. Now, since I can remember, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And the entrepreneurship department, alongside with the Stumberg competition, really do help you transform your ideas into plans, which then become a reality.
I think there's no safer space to learn, grow, succeed, fail than the Stumberg Venture Competition and the accelerator process. There are very few times in your life where you'll have the opportunity to say, I can totally fail, fall on my face, and get back up and do it again, or change to what you want to do. I think if you don't take this opportunity with the Stumberg competition, you may not ever get it again.
Despite coming from a disadvantaged background without any real financial guidance, and entrepreneurship had always been a part of my life, since childhood, thinking back, opportunities, like the ones that the Stumberg family offers, to help motivate some young individuals by inspiring them to make a difference in the world, is awesome.
Well, if you like what you saw here today, or in that video, the application for next year's Stumberg competition is now open until the 31st of January 2024. If you have an idea that you would like to pursue or a side hustle that you want to scale up, there is no better way than to turn that idea into a reality than the Stumberg Entrepreneurship Competition. Applying was one of the best decisions I made at my time here in Trinity, and I'm confident that it will be for you as well. To apply, begin by carefully reviewing the Stumberg guidelines, which will include important deadlines, the link to the application, and information about what's needed to complete the application. There's a QR code on the back of the program to access the guidelines.
Nelson is exactly right. To add on to that, I was a communication and theater major when I was here at Trinity, and that just goes to show you that you do not need to be a business major to do this. As long as you have an idea and a dream and a team, help us help you bring your dream to fruition. And now I have the honor of introducing Dr. Vanessa Beasley to the stage, the president of Trinity University.
Thank you, Ren and Nelson. Will you join me in thanking them for their wonderful insight? It's such an honor to be here tonight. We thank you for being here. It's so great to see this many people here for the celebration and, of course, hearing the pitches. And on that note, congratulations, students. I just want to pause and say it's a big deal that you made it to this point. Will you join me in congratulating? One of the things that people around Trinity know I say a lot is nobody does anything great alone. So I want to take a minute to point out that there are so many people in this room tonight that were part of these students' journeys. Parents, faculty, mentors, entrepreneurs, and residents. Let's give them a round of applause for their work. It takes a lot of people to do entrepreneurship the way we do it here at Trinity, and as you just heard, we do it with a solid and firm and steadfast belief that broad thinking and that liberal arts education that we champion are going to be the differentiators in the future as we solve problems together and think collaboratively about the solutions our next generation will need. Now, you've heard the name Stumberg a lot tonight. You're going to hear it a little bit more in what I have to say, because it's my great honor to introduce Herb Stumberg Jr. and ask him to come up to the stage. Herb's going to help me present the check and announce the winner, but first I'd like to take a few moments, if I may, to introduce him to you, because he's a tremendous champion of our university and frankly one of my personal heroes for his great enthusiasm for the education we offer here. Herb is an alumni of Trinity University, graduating with his bachelor's degree in business administration in 1981, and he also currently serves as a member of our board of trustees. We are so thankful to him for that service. What you may not know about Herb is he also has immeasurable and varied experience in the world of entrepreneurship and innovation, and frankly, in invention and business management too. He currently serves as president of Air Measurement Technologies, LLC, a San Antonio firm that designs and develops digital pressure and temperature computers for firefighters. That's cool. Previously, he was a partner with Rickman and Associates, which oversees real estate partnerships, and was co-founder of Orca Industries, which developed underwater decompression computers for scuba divers. Also very cool. Herb, will you please join me in the center of the stage while we announce the winning team? The winner of this year's Louis H. Stumberg Venture Showcase Entrepreneurship Competition is Well and Wood. We have one other presentation. Charles Goodwin, will you please join us as the representative from Geekdom to present the key to your office for the next year in Geekdom's downtown. I want to thank again our judges. That's no small task, and we really appreciate your being here with us tonight to do this work.